My dad dying was the hardest part for me and Andrew to go through ever. But what you have to understand with things like that is you don't actually have a choice. People say this all the time, like, how did you deal with that? It's like, well, what was my alternative? Bring him back to life? There is no way out of it. So you can either, and people say this all the time, oh, my mother's got cancer, she's going to die in 6 months. What do? I say, enjoy the next 6 months with her. As much, like, there are lots of situations in life where your hands are tied. So with dad dying, it was a simple matter of, okay, you can let this destroy you, which is an option, and people do this all the time, drink themselves to death, I don't know, start cutting themselves, whatever stuff people do to cope with difficult situations. Or you can be sad anyway, because you're sad either way, and work 18 hours a day. And in fact, I said that the time I was working the most, when I was around 27, 28, I think he died when I was 27. So you can work 18 hours a day, not let anything distract you, and stay focused on the mission, so that way you have less time to think about it, and you can be sad while you're working. And then, you know, when you start to come to terms with everything, you've got millions of dollars, as opposed to, oh, I've come to terms with everything, but I'm in a rehab clinic. So I think that bad things are going to happen to your life. And everyone watching, this is the sad truth of it. Your parents are going to die too, before you. I mean, most of you. So that is going to happen. So I didn't really see why it was difficult. As much as it was unpleasant, I don't think it was difficult because there isn't a way out of it. So it's the best way I can describe it. Every single second that you're scrolling on your phone or looking at Instagram, etc., there are dudes out there, you know, even so much as selling little coaching calls or courses, or, you know, who you'd want to be like. But it's easy. It's easier to sit around and play video games and masturbate than it is to get the money to buy real supercars and seduce beautiful women in the real world. It is much easier. And because it's easier, I feel like a lot of people don't want a way out. So I don't need to give them advice. I feel like the advice is out there. If you're watching this and that describes you, good. At least you're listening to people with a healthy mindset who maybe can inspire you a little bit to try to be like that. The old saying of, you know, you become the average of the 5 people you hang around with the most, that's older than the internet. That saying, it predates the internet. But essentially it means the 5 people who influence you the most. And, you know, if you do live alone, or if you don't have many friends, or you don't have a big group of people, what you're watching and what you're listening to influences you massively. So yeah, cut the crap out. Exactly the same with a healthy diet. It influences your health. A healthy mind is exactly the same thing. Scrolling up and down Netflix, watching trash all day is not going to get you anywhere in life, literally, ever. Whereas, you know, you might hear a piece of advice in a podcast, in this podcast, that, you know, makes you wake up and think, you know what, I actually need to get my shit in order. Stop trying to live like the man unless you've actually become the man first. And that means women, stop trying to get laid all the time and get beautiful women. Because if you are a nobody, the time and effort it's going to take into convincing a really beautiful woman to go to bed with you is much less time than it would take me or Mike, because we are a somebody already. So you're burning your hours. Yeah, don't chase women too much. Don't chase having fun too much. Don't chase clout too much. Don't try to be seen in cool places that you can't actually afford to be in. But yeah, people pretend too hard today. And the effort it takes to pretend short term will make you look richer or cooler or more successful than you are. But if you take all the time that you spend pretending and actually invest it into trying to become what you're pretending to be, you'll get there. Yeah. But it will take, again, 3, 4, 5 years. And people,
like anything in life, whether it's becoming a father or, you know, losing your dad and having your mom to take care of, everything can be a source of inspiration. Everything can be used to either stoke that fire or put it out. The woman example you gave earlier, you can meet a woman who wants a good life and wants a good family with you, and you can think, I'm going to work twice as hard. And being the source of inspiration for young men has made me, I guess, focused more on not slipping up. Now I can't fail. I can't fail because I'm not letting myself down. If me and Andrew failed, if me and Andrew, I don't know, sank into depression and developed a drug habit and checked ourselves into rehab, the typical celebrity journey, because the pressure is real up here, I feel like I'd let so many people down. Not that that would ever cross my mind anyway, I'm a very mentally strong person, but it's just more responsibility. And I like the responsibility. It makes me smarter. It makes me train harder. It makes me work harder. So I appreciate all of my fans in that way because they're inspiring me. I can't let everybody down. Most young people don't realize how rich they are. Money can't buy everything. And when I was 18, I was richer than I am today in some ways. I still had my father, for example. So I had no money, but I could call my father anytime I liked and talk to him and shoot the shit, just talk about life. Maybe I wasn't looking for advice. He didn't have much money. He couldn't give me advice on making money, but you know, he was a very smart man, and regardless if the conversation was useful or not, I could have spent more time talking to him, and I didn't. You assume that the things that you have when you're young are going to be around forever. You assume you'll never die, your health will never fade, your parents aren't going to go. You assume all these things, and you live every day like every day is going to be the same. But if you're young, appreciate how wealthy you are. I mean, there are children in Palestine right now with no family at all dead. And they're in the world at 8, 9, 10, 12 years old, but going to have to make it alone. You know, with the help of some of the, I mean, my charity helps a lot of these kids out when possible. But yeah, if you got both parents, you know, a good home, food to eat, you're very lucky. Enjoy that wealth while it lasts. Any young person to sit there whose life isn't going right, who had a failed relationship, they're 21, working a dead-end job, but to see on the internet, don't worry, some flowers take longer to bloom, you're gonna make it one day, your time will come, and going, okay, great, sigh of relief, my time will come, the internet said so. If you buy into that, you deserve to be poor forever. Like, panic mode is the best mode to be in. Things aren't quite right, life sucks, my girlfriend just left me, can't pay my rent, panic mode. Fuck the internet, some flowers take longer to bloom, my time is gonna come, panic.
Nobody wants to do the work. It's like getting into shape, as I'm sure you know. It's, you know, when guys are, you know, fat and they're like, oh, well, you get women because you're in shape. It's like, well, you could be in shape, but it's for you, it's 2 years, it's 3 years, you know? Are you willing to do that? The same is with your finances, the same with your mindset, the same with lots of things. So yeah, if you do the work, the women do naturally come to you, but it's years of work and everyone wants a quick fix.